most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the Hales Corner Speedway Sim Racing Series. The BnH Builder Street Stocks on tap for us first here from Lanier. I've got 20 drivers checked in for tonight's action. Guys out on the track currently getting in a few practice laps, getting ready for their qualifying efforts. Round number 9 tonight. A lot of the old familiar faces. If you're a fan of the series, you know each and every one of them. If you're not, you're going to see David Kinjerski, Reed Rundle, Cole Duggar, J.J. Schilling, Peter Brees, Andy Gross. All these guys, usually the top runners in the series here, and in these streak stocks, it has been anybody's game lately. But it is definitely time for us to get things kicked off tonight. Head down trackside for our pre-race ceremonies.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, a big thank you to our friends, the Foleys. The boys are getting ready to roll out for qualifying. Got cars already rolling out onto the track. We're looking at the 15 car of David Kinjerski right now. Puts himself on the clock officially. Nick Sobiak already on the clock. Keep our eyes on a few of these guys here. See where they shake out in the qualifying session. Inverts in all races. Kinjerski, P2 behind Nick Sobiak. Sobiak 16.613, 16.621 for David Kinjerski. Hull. Now Cole Duggar 16.579 as he's on his second timed lap here. JJ Schilling 5.56 takes over the top spot. Slower that time for Duggar, so he will not improve his position. JJ Schilling on lap number 2. Quite a bit slower, but still hanging on to quick qualifier. A little deeper into the field. 43 car Reed Rundle now on the clock. Andy Gross times in 4th. Now Briar Zimmerman, quickest in practice, and now quickest in qualifying, 16.518. Reed Rundle, 16.673, good enough for 8th. Briar Zimmerman finishing up his second lap just a tick slower, 16.601, so 16.518. Quick time for this evening's BnH Builders Street Stocks. JJ Schilling, Cole Duggar, and then Nick Sobiak, your top 4. Andy Gross qualifies 5th tonight. David Kinjerski, Brandon Hull, Reed Rundle in 8th. Dean Burnt and James Fletcher rounding out the top 10. So 20 cars, everybody's going to the feature. This is a fixed setup series, Puff. And what do you mean, do I want feedback? Oh, never mind. I understand. Never mind. I understand. All right. Drivers wrapping up qualifying, getting ready. Finish up their drivers meeting right here before we get ready to go to the green flag. We should get 3 heat races. How's everybody doing out there in viewer land tonight? See a bunch of viewers. See a handful here in the chat. Hello, Mr. Hammer. First of 2 shows for the Hales Corners boys tonight. They will have the Pro Late models right back in here again on the same track once we wrap up the street stocks. I feel like you guys could shorten that a whole lot. Hello, Mr. Nichols. I hope you saw all the posts. I saw you shared it once or twice. So hopefully that's pretty good. I got our boy Baker getting lined up to be on the other radio show, so we'll get some more coverage from that. Looks like we're going to knock this down to 2 heat races. We'll line up 10 cars in each one. Ready to head down to the grid. And we will run through the Scribble Up Car Wars starting lineup on the pole. The Skis Graphics, Brandon Hull, Performance Motorsports Racing Incorporated, number 99 from Mayville, Wisconsin, Brandon Hull. And on the outside, the Shark RC Car Bodies, Gross Racing, number 14 out of Hartford, Wisconsin. The king of the restart, Andy Gross. Row 2. On the inside, the UDTV, Brent Bates. Team Outlaw Motorsports number 011 from St. Louis, Missouri, Cole Duggan. On his outside, the Ooze Motorsports number 002. He's out of New Richmond, Wisconsin. Briar Zimmerman, your quick qualifier for the evening. Third row inside the Buddies Racing Equipment I-41 Raceway, number 17 from Slinger, Wisconsin, Dean Burton. On the outside of him, the 7 car, Brady Harshbarger. The fourth row, Tristan Miller, the 2 car. On the inside, on the outside, the DiscountShopTales.com Black Flag Racing, number 74, out of Waterford, Wisconsin, Peter Reese. And your fifth and final row, the B Hull Performance, number 32 from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, of Skyler Woods. And on his outside, the 22 of Nate Sievert. Drivers ready to go green out of turn number 4 for heat race number 1.
Green flag, green flag.
The green flag is in the air. We are underway. Into 1 and 2. Gross trying to work the top side. Not quite enough momentum right there. He's going to come out side by side with Duggar. Duggar right against the inside right there. These guys are working lap number 2 with Brandon Hull out front. Duggar now trying to work down the inside. He's going to take second away from Gross. Gross was up on the top side. Andy Gross going to go try the inside. Didn't work out of 4, and he's got Briar Zimmerman in behind him. Then it's Burnt, Harshbarger, Woods, Sievert, Brees, and Miller at the end of 2. Now battle for the lead, and I think Duggar's going to easily take this. Opens the door, and Gross is going to try to bring the 14 car in through. He just didn't quite get it there. You'll see that 99 of Hull go back to the bottom. Out of 2, 5 laps remaining. Duggar, Hull, Gross, Zimmerman, and Harshbarger in the 7 now in 5th. He's closing in on Zimmerman. It is a pretty good battle behind that. Burnt and Sievert were side by side, and now Woods and Brees are side by side for a moment. Couple of single file lines separated by about 5 car lengths. Oh, Dean Burnt just killed everything. His car upside down right there. He is going to hit that exit to pit road wall right there in turn 1, trying to get the car down on the inside. I think he was way too far outside, turns in a little early, catches a little bit of grip. Sievert ended up into him right there. So we are back to battling for the lead, and Brandon Hull got underneath Cole Duggar. Moved Duggar up the hill. It's opening the door for Andy Gross to get by. Could open it up for Zimmerman, but it looks like Hull is is going to pick up the win in heat number 1. Andy Gross going to come home second. And then at the line, Duggar takes third. Zimmerman fourth, and Harshbarger in fifth. Brees, Miller, Woods, Sievert, and Burnt. Chris and Pork Chop. Well, I don't know who either one of those are, but hello, guys. Glad you're watching. Get ready to move on to heat racing number 2 here. And our Scrub It Up car wash starting lap looks like this. On the pole, the Buddies Racing Equipment TDC race team number 43 from Oxford, Michigan. Reed Rundle on his outside. Sitting there revving up the motor, trying to blow it before we can even get rolling in the Skis Graphics number 15, David Konjerski. Row 2 on the inside, the RLV Faster Motors VLR number 23 from Big Bend, Wisconsin, Nick Sobiek. And on his outside, another BL Performance Machine, Greendale, Wisconsin, Jason Schilling. Your third row. If I can figure out where that camera disappeared to. The cameras just keep moving around on me. On the inside, another B-Hull Performance Machines, the 75 machine of James Fletcher out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. And on his outside, the Shark RC Car Bodies, number 112 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Chris Johnson. Your fourth row inside, the Pinkala Auto Solutions, number 41 from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, Ryan Fisher. On his outside, the 35 car of Zach Krieger. And your fifth and final row on the inside, the CJR Pratatosa, number 64 from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, of Randy Brunner. And to his outside, the 126 will be Dean Wallach. Pace truck in. Green flag in the air. I saw Fletcher's car wiggle real hard. I don't know what he was doing there, but he almost wrecked the thing before the green fell. We're going to come out of 2, still side by side, 3 rows deep at the front. Rundle, a little bit of a slide job here, trying to seal the deal, lead at least the first lap, give himself some breathing room so he can work any lane that he wants to on the track right now. And it's going to be 3 wide for a split second there out of turn 2 as Sobiek worked down the inside of both he and Konjerski. Here comes Schilling. Schilling trying to get around Konjerski. He's bringing the 1 car forward. In the mix, up to third now. Sobiek on the inside by half a car going into 3. If you keep Rundle pinned to the outside, everybody may freight train him here. Right now, Sobiek, car and a half, 2 cars down into 1 and 2. Schilling side by side with Rundle. As they work out of 4, now Schilling's got half a car advantage at the line. Put him in second. Rundle is third. Chris Johnson on the outside had fourth over James Fletcher by the nose of the 112 machine. Now Schilling clears Reed Rundle. Rundle gives him a little bump down into turn 3. 3 to go this time by. Still Sobiek, Schilling, Rundle, Fletcher, Johnson, Konjerski, Fisher, Brunner, Krieger, and Wallach in that order. Oh, big pile up behind Konjerski. Almost got into that. I know Chris Johnson had a little piece of it. It's going to keep the door open now. Keep them 3 wide for that 5th and final spot. Johnson in the 112 has got the 5th spot. Rundle in front of that. Fletcher got around him. It's the top 2 getting away from everybody. They're coming down to the white flag. Sobiek, 0.7 of a second in front of Schilling. Fletcher and Rundle now starting to go at it on the final lap. They'll come out of turn 4. Nick Sobiek will pick up the win in the second heat. Then J.J. Schilling in second. Who's going to have third? Rundle has it at the line by 1/4 of a car. Fletcher is 4th, and Chris Johnson hangs on for 5th. They were 3 wide behind that. Brunner, Konjerski, Krieger, and Wallach rounding out the field. So looks like a B main. This is just for starting spots. Get down here onto the front stretch. Konjerski and Miller in row 1. Brunner and Skyler Woods in row 2. Chris Johnson, Peter Brees, row 3. Row 4, Nate Sievert and Zach Krieger. And the 5th and final row, Dean Burnt and Dean Wallach. Do they lose spots? There's some inversions that go on, and then there are some drivers that serve penalties at the beginning of each race for various things from previous weeks. So you'll see guys that end up going to the back for whatever reason. All right. B main, just a formality. Everybody transferring through. This is just for their final starting spot in tonight's A main. Rows 6 on back. Kinjerski and Miller. Row number 1.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air. B main underway. 10 laps the distance. Little contact between Johnson and Brunner. Johnson gets the short end of that stick right now. Kinjerski on the bottom has the lead out of 4. He's going to lead the first lap. Miller second, side by side for third. Brunner and Skylar Woods. Down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Still a good side by side battle, and Randy Brunner now starting to make his presence felt. He is trying to move up. He takes second. Peter Brees following him through. They got Miller trapped on the high side. Miller trying to drive with a little more authority up there. Just not quite enough momentum coming out of the top side of the track yet. But he makes it work right there as he's going to take over third, at least for the time being. Brees may take it right back on the bottom right here. Good runs down the front stretch. Not so good getting this time into 1 and 2 as Brees going to take over the spot. Out moves Skylar Woods up the inside. He may take 4th away from Miller. Miller just can't get the 1 car down to the bottom. He's going to stay trapped on the high side for a while here, it looks like, at least until Sievert gets by. We are running out of laps quickly. Kinjerski 0.3 of a second over Brunner. He is maintaining that gap. Peter Brees still third. Skylar Woods fourth. Now Sievert has gotten around Miller. Can Miller come to the bottom? Here comes Chris Johnson around the top. The 112 car keeping it wound up. He's staying way up where the tacky stuff is. He may end up getting 5th out of this, and he does at the line. Go watch the 112 car just a little bit right here. Trying to take 5th away from Sievert off the top side. 2 to go this time. Front 4 down on the bottom. Sievert running right through the middle. The only car not locked in the bottom inside of the top 7. Chris Johnson around the top side in 6 is actually making a lot of ground up here. If he can keep the 112 car rolling like that, he's going to come home with 5th out of this B main. Not quite enough that time. White flag in the air. Good battle right here. We'll see if Johnson can bring it home in 5th. It's going to be Kinjerski, then Brunner, then Brees and Woods 4th. Who's going to have 5th? Oh, I think Sievert staved him off by just a smidge right there. 5/1000ths of a second. So give Johnson 6, then Miller, Burnt, Krieger, and Wallach. So we are going to get down to our lineup cam. Get ready to run it through our A main starting lineup. On the pole, the 41 machine of Ryan Fisher to his outside. Brady Harshbarger in the 7. Your second row, James Fletcher, the 75 car inside. And the 002 of Ryder Zimmerman on his outside. Row 3 will be the 43 of Reed Rundle inside. Cole Duggar in the 011 on the outside of that row. And it'll be Jason Schilling inside row 4. Andy Gross, king of the restarts, will start 8th this evening in the A main. The 5th row, Nick Sobiek inside. Brandon Hall outside. The 23 and the 99. Your 6th row will be David Kinjerski on the inside. And Randy Brunner on the outside. Row 7, Peter Brees inside, Skylar Woods outside. The 8th row, Nate Sievert and Chris Johnson inside and out. It'll be Tristan Miller and Dean Burnt. row number 9, and Zach Krieger and Dean Wellick in row number 10. 20 cars, 20 laps. Tight little track here. 0.3 of a mile. All right, A-main time. Fisher, Harshberger on the front row. Ready to go green. Pace truck is in. Green flag. We are underway. Little bit of contact between a couple of cars. Not sure exactly who it was. They're going to be 4 wide. 5 wide for a second down the backstretch. Everybody bouncing off one another. Keeping them facing forward right now. It is Harshberger with the lead. Then Fletcher. Zimmerman was right there. I seen Reed Rundle as he kind of vanished for just a second. Not sure where he's at. Andy Gross getting roughed up. He's going to get turned around. That ought to trigger us a caution. Not really seeing much right now. Everything's staying green. He must have got the car. There comes your caution. I was wondering if we were going to get one of those. Got to go and find this 14 car. Andy Gross back here. He kind of got in it. Let's go back a little bit further. It's going to jump me off that card. I knew it was going to do that. It's really just trying to irritate me, I think, now more than anything. Yeah, it's really just trying to frustrate me now. I don't really understand why it's doing what it's doing, but it's going to keep doing it. Okay. All right, I give. We'll just go back to live, and that'll be that. I really don't know what's going on with my overlays and my cameras right now. Really starting to frustrate me. Oh. All right. Ready to go green again, Harshberger and Fletcher.
Green flag, green
Harshberger got on the throttle quickly when the pace truck darted for the infield. He's going to keep the lead. Big pack of cars in behind. JJ Schilling right here in fourth, trying to work on the inside of Fletcher. Zimmerman got by Fletcher. Zimmerman, he's going after Harshberger right now. Going to be side by side down the backstretch. We're going to complete 5 of the 20 laps here. That time, Zimmerman in front. He's got the lead over Harshberger. Harshberger trying to get the run off the top side, keeping the 7 car up by the cushion. Not quite enough, and Zimmerman's going to lead another lap. Schilling still third. Duggar settled into fourth right here all by himself. It's a battle behind that. Fletcher had Kinjerski right alongside for a second. He's going to seal the deal into fifth right now. So Kinjerski now going to deal with Chris Johnson. Johnson, 112 machine, working the top side, making the momentum line start to work again. He did this in the B main. 8 down, 12 to go. Still Zimmerman. Then Harshberger and Schilling, 2-3. Seeing more and more cars start to migrate closer to the top. They're either running right at the top, right at the bottom. Nobody in the middle. Well, I can't speak on that. I know there was a whole lot of physical contact going on back there. Maybe nobody thought it was their fault, and they'll wait till the post-race review. Zimmerman, Schilling, Harshbarger, Duggar. Your top four. Then David Konjerski now has gotten around James Fletcher into fifth. Fletcher's got his hands full. He's got Chris Johnson working the top side, and Johnson got squeezed off right there. Door slammed off of that momentum line. Gives up a little bit of space. Ryan Fisher in 8th. The 41 machine down on the bottom right now. Nick Sobiak trying to work the top. That's your top 10, including the 64 of Brunner, Andy Gross. A little bit of damage on that car is working his way back around. Trying to get inside the top 10. We are going to go closer to the front here. Zimmerman, 1.2 seconds, 7 laps to go. J.J. Schilling now up to second. Cole Duggar, he's battling side by side with Brady Harshbarger. Look from Harshbarger. He is going to give up that third spot to Duggar right here. Going to try to drive back around him. Just a little too sticky right down on the very bottom. Ooh, a little contact there. He got in hot. Drove it up the hill a little bit. And now these two are going to work a little sliders. Ooh, more contact. 7 car now. Going to be on the short end of the stick in this one. He's going to fall back to fourth. 4 laps to go. Zimmerman in lap traffic. Working around Wallach right there in the 126 car. Has a 1.8 second lead. It's going to drop a little bit as he slowed to go around the high side of the 126 machine. 3 laps to go, down to 1.3 seconds. Watch Schilling start to roll in here on the lap car. See if it slows him down any. I don't think it's going to matter if it stays green. Zimmerman's got this one. As soon as I say it, caution. We're going to have cars around back here on the backstretch. Nick Sobiek in this. It won't. It just wants to jump all around. It's going to keep doing it. So let's try to go back and see. Yeah, it's just going to jump around. I really have no control over the cameras anymore. Sobiek was up top. Gross. Oh, Gross slid it up there. And then they just make a little contact, and that's going to start a big chain reaction. I don't think there's anything foul going on there. I think it was just a little bit of a slider, and driver's trying to catch up now.
All right, man. Like you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time.
So at least one more time around. So they get drivers sorted out. Oh, I see Sievert's car. Nate Sievert's car. Heavily damaged. That thing is crab walking like nobody's business.
All right, man. Like you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
So we are trying to sort this all out right here. Get drivers where they're supposed to be. I think this evening's host may have lost his internet connection. All right, lights off on the pace truck. 2 laps to go. Green, white, checker. We're ready to get this thing done here. Green flag back in the air. Zimmerman. Now Schilling got company on the inside, at least for the moment. Duggar tried to get there. White flag this time around. Next flag will end it. battle is for second, and Schilling just slams the door on Duggar going down into 1 and 2. I don't think Duggar really lifted at all. He's going to drive right back alongside. These two going to go right at it here. Duggar checked it up. Zimmerman's going to win it tonight. Schilling second. And Duggar is going to come home in third. Fletcher and Harshbarger rounding out that top 5. We'll get the top 3 around on the front stretch. Get them guys in here for some interviews and see what they have to think about tonight's A main. Miss Schilling's got to learn the word patience, I think. Cole Duggar, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, a good run. You had a lot of battles going on out there during the feature tonight, man. Tell us what was going on out there.
Yeah, man. Track kind of carried over tonight. Track crew didn't get out there and really do much after qualifying, so it carried over. That was pretty cool. We thought the top may come in there at the end, but it really didn't. It was kind of running through the bottom there and just keeping it as straight as you can through the slick. It was kind of hard to pass unless you throw a big slide job, but ended up coming home with a podium. Can't be more happy than just getting a podium.
Yeah, it looked like guys were getting a little physical. There's a lot of bumping and rubbing. Did you run into too much of that tonight?
Thankfully, not too much on my end. I know Andy Gross kind of got in a 4 wide situation or so. I was in there with him, and then down into 3. I think that was the first caution that came out. But other than that, I thought it was a real good race all night. Not too much physical on my end, and maybe that's just part of being up front.
It usually helps when you're closer to the front in one of these things, especially where the big body cars are concerned. You got a couple of 3 shout-outs maybe here before we let you go and get into the late model?
Yeah, absolutely. Got Team Outlaw Motorsports, Ultimate Dirt TV, Brent Spates, and thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thanks for my buddy Sean for watching, and thanks for the host and the sponsors for everybody to make this series possible.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Look forward to seeing you later on this evening.
Thank you.
Your third place finisher, Mr. Cole Duggar. Let's get this guy in here. Got to get JJ in here. JJ, you there?
Hi, Roger. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. Got a good run going tonight. Passed a couple of cars. Get up here to second, man. Tell us what was going on in the feature.
Just trying to keep my nose clean. I know we got 4 wide from people checking up in front of us. I don't know what happened to Andy, but I don't know. But I'm happy with second. Being consistent, top 3 is all that matters right now, I guess.
Yeah, consistency will win you a whole lot of championships from what I understand. Unless you race NASCAR where one race will win you the whole championship, which is, a whole different story. We won't talk about that. But looks like you got just a touch of damage on the nose. Everything else looks pretty clean on that one car. How tough was the sledding out there tonight?
It was pretty good. I wanted to try the top at the end so I can press Zimmerman clean. I guess he just didn't want to come in at the right time for me.
Well, still a fantastic run. You come home second tonight. I'm sure you got some shout-outs and some thank yous before we let you get ready for the late model race.
Oh, yeah, Blaze Ferrari, my favorite hype man ever, Taylor Ron. I know he's watching. Roscoff RV, LeMay Motorsports, J&A Auto Trim, Mama Fish, and Sobiax for letting me drive their go-kart tonight. And I'm pretty sore. Might have to be done for the night. Just kidding.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us, and good luck out there in the late models, buddy.
Yeah, you too.
Jason Schilling comes home second tonight. Let's get our winner in here. Briar Zimmerman, you there?
Yes, sir.
Well, you said in the chat you finally won one of these things, man. A great run. You really kind of dominated this field here. You were quick in practice, pretty good in qualifying. And once you got to the front, you kind of drove away from everybody. Tell us about the feature especially.
The first 5 laps or so was wanting to keep it clean. That uh, backstretch on the first lap, I sort of didn't have that planned. Didn't mean to come up on anyone or go down anyone if I did. But it looked like we all made it out clean. Then I'm pretty good at Lanier on a slick track. I actually love it. And I seen those guys running the top, and I figured you can't go wrong with the bottom. I got a little scared. I was gonna try the top. Glad I stayed on the bottom, and then once it got clean air, basically just set my own pace.
Yeah, like I say, you were talking about the track starting to get slick, and it looked like a lot of changes from the time we came out for qualifying until we got to the feature. But you stayed married to the bottom. Just you're just way more comfortable down there. Just not sure of the cushion here at Lanier.
I mean, I know Lanier a lot of times it's bottom, and I was watching the um, relative and such, and I seen that I was building a lean rut in the bottom, so I figured why even, why mess anything up? Why change? I had to go to the top to pass one lap car, and it felt all right. That caution with 2 laps to go sort of scared me, but it just finally all happened to work out in my favor.
Well, a fantastic run. You're going to pick up the win. Some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you get out of here.
Yes, sir. I want to thank Ooze Motorsports, Lone Star Racing, my sister, her daughter, and my grandma all came up this week, and they're actually all watching along with my mom and dad. So I want to give a shout out to my niece Laylee, my wife, you guys for broadcasting this, and everyone that watches it, I guess. Thank you.
All right, man. Congrats on the win again. Look forward to seeing you out here in the late models in just a little bit.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Your winner tonight, Briar Zerl. Let's run down the results. Schilling was second, Duggar third, Fletcher in fourth, Harshberger comes home fifth, David Konjerski grabs sixth place, Randy Brenner comes home seventh, Chris Johnson in eighth, Tristan Miller, after starting on the front row, comes home ninth tonight, Dean Burnt in 10th, Zach Krieger was 11th, Skylar Woods 12th, 13th to Ryan Fisher, Andy Gross in 14th, Brandon Hull 15th, 16th to Nate Sievert, Dean Wallach comes home 17th tonight. Nick Sobiak in 18th after a late race incident. Peter Brees, 19th, and Reed Rundle, after disconnecting after lap 1, comes home a disappointing 20th. Hopefully Reed will get his stuff fixed and he'll come back for the late models. And if not, man, hopefully we'll see him next week. But that is going to do it for the BnH Builders Street Stock Series. These guys are going to re-rack it, bring in the Pro Late Model cars, and get ready to do this again right here at Lanier. We will be back top of the hour, so about 25 minutes from now to get that one kicked off. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. Tune back in when we go live again. If you haven't already, subscribe over on Twitch and YouTube. Come by the Dirt Racing Network Facebook page. Like, share, and follow. You know every time we go live,